The day my father died was the most powerful, intimate, and inspirational day of my life. It was the day I cleaned my house, purged my heart, and spoke my piece. The morning of that day didn't start off so well. It found my father lying face up in his hospital-supplied bed in his bedroom, where he had been dispatched from the hospital to die at home. His muscles had deserted him days before, and now he didn't have the strength to close his mouth or blink his eyes. This, who was one of the strongest men I've ever met in my life, who just 1 year before had been climbing on a roof, fixing some roofs for a neighbor of his, fell off the roof, flat on his back on the cement, broke 3 ribs, checked his condition, got up, grabbed another tile, climbed up the ladder, and finished the job. My father was always there for me as a child. My father vowed to be never like the father that he had. So we had a clean house in a nice neighborhood. I had clean clothes, nutritious food, toys, games, a pool in the backyard. All earned through the sweat of my father's brow, not through a high income paying job. He would often work 2 jobs and a lot of overtime to help put us in the position where we were. Around noon that day, my brothers who were there and my mother who was there left on errands. Doing some errands, also taking a break from the vigil, leaving me alone in the house for the first time since I'd been there in this last visit. I walked into my father's room and I took note of the environment. It was dark, it was bleak, the blinds were closed, the shades were drawn. This bed was pressed up against the side of the room. There was one chair crowded underneath one of those hospital tables on which there was Kleenex and medicine and one of those kidney-shaped bowls that I still don't know what the purpose is of. There were blankets all over the floor. There was all the accoutrements of dying and helplessness dispersed all over the room, crowding him into the corner. I said, "This isn't right," out loud. I said, "You deserve better." I walked over to the window and I opened up the blinds and I threw back the drapes, letting sunlight in, dispelling the darkness, an immediate improvement. I noticed on the dresser a CD that I had made for him just a couple of years ago for his 50th anniversary, a soundtrack that I had put together with a slideshow of his and my mother's life. I put the CD in the CD player and pressed play, and music filled the room. Music of the songs my father used to sing to me when I was a young child. I started singing the songs loudly out loud to my father in a little ironic reversal of roles. Chababa, 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 and chawunga, upalagoomba. Chababa, 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 go to sleep, my little one. I walked towards the center of the room where there's a stack of blankets placed. He used to be so cold, and then the weight of the blankets started hurting him, and now he was really hot. He wasn't going to need these blankets anymore. I picked him up and brought him out and put him out in the garage. All the medicines on the table, all of the Kleenex, all of these things he was never going to need again. I took all of those, put them all in the garbage bag, took them all out into the garage. There were the handrails next to his bed, just in case he was going to fall out of bed. He wasn't going to fall anywhere anymore. I took off the handrail to him, put those in the garage, and started cleaning, getting rid of all of this knick-knack and just garbage that was in the room, preventing us from accessing our father. And as I did so, I searched my heart. Because one of my demons was the demon things left undone. I searched my heart and I said, "Thank you, Dad," loudly, as I was cleaning up. "Thank you for all the work that you've done for us your whole life. Thank you for being there at all of my activities. Thank you for keeping score at Little League. Thank you for coaching my soccer team. Thanks for defending me when I was helping you and my older brothers and really only getting in the way and they were complaining about me. Thanks for swimming in the pool with me and lying on the patio next to me in the warm sun. Thanks for your constant vigilism against my impoliteness and disciplining me without shame. Thanks for not lecturing me when you picked me up from jail. Thank you for all the love your entire life." There was a toilet chair next to his bed that he never even used. It was large, taking up a bunch of space. I removed that from the room also. I searched my heart for what else to say. I said, "I'm sad, Dad. I'm sad that I'm not going to be able to be with you anymore. I'm sad that my boys are going to grow up to be young men and not know their grandfather. I'm sad that you're not going to be there at their high school graduation or their college graduation or marriage. I'm sorry that you're not going to be able to see my grandchildren. I'm sorry that I'm not going to be able to call you on the phone and have you help me fix things around the house or my car or just talk about the kids. But most of all, I'm sad because I'm not going to be able to bask in the warmth of your love for the rest of my life." I went over to his bed, smooched up against the wall, and thought, "You need to be in the center of the room." So I swung the bed out into the center of the room and placed chairs all around it so that we could sit easily and openly with my father. There, finally, the room was set properly, open, clear, accessible. I searched my heart. There was something else. Dare I say it? It's now or never. I thought, God grant me the courage to cast myself into the fire and let me burn with the flame and rise with the ashes pure and clean. I said, "I resent you, Dad. I resent you that you taught me that to love someone is to be codependent and to sacrifice yourself. It's haunted me in all of my relationships. I don't think you did us a justice, I don't think you did Mom a justice, and I don't think you did yourself a service either." There. I said it. Out loud. And suddenly, it didn't seem so bad anymore. It seemed small and moderate in the light of day. And now something else filled up inside my heart, and it was easy to say this. "God, Dad, it's so easy. I forgive you. I understand that you were doing everything to avoid being who your father was, who was a drunk and abandoned his family and let you have to leave school at the age of 10 to support your family. I understand that you're doing everything that you can to teach me how to love. Of all the things that you could have passed on that would be negative, this is the least possible thing that you could have passed on. I forgive you. It's okay." And I looked at my father, and these eyes that had been unblinking for days had tears welled up in his eyes. He'd been listening to everything that I'd been saying. It was a clear sign to me, a physical impossibility, that he actually understood me and heard me. I said, "Thank you, Dad. Thank you, thank you, thank you." When I was growing up in all my childhood, they always asked me, "Who's your hero in grade school?" And I could not think of anyone except for you. You were always my hero. You were always my hero, and you still are. Tears were rolling my face. I bent down, I kissed him, and I hugged him, and I said, I love you, I love you, I love you. Our tears intermingled, not knowing whose were mine and whose were his. Later that night, my brothers, my mother, and I stood around his bed, knowing that the moment was very near. We all held hands, and we touched my father. And we gave him comforting words saying, it's okay, Dad. You can go. We'll be okay. We love you. God loves you. We'll take care of Mom for you. It's okay. Thank you. We'll see you soon. And with those words in his ears, and with the love surrounding him, he exhaled his last breath. I was lucky. My father had a long illness. I'd always hoped for short illnesses and short deaths. But with his long illness, it gave me an opportunity to say everything that I wanted to say to him, to purge my heart. We're not all so lucky. A lot of our parents are getting older, and they're going to be dying soon. Our loved ones could die at any time, quickly, without hearing those words in their ears and understanding our love for them in their heart. Take the time to do it now. Speak your piece.